Well, here we are again.
Good morning, sunshine.
The Dave and Dave Show. I am David Julius. This is David Ronald.
As in McDonald.
We are here at episode 39.
My age.
Your age, for sure.
Me and Jack Benny. You know who Jack Benny is?
I think so.
Danny, do you know who Jack Benny is?
I'm looking for...
the name?
Oh, okay, Danny's heard the name.
Are we in I can't find us. Hold on. Let me make sure. Oh, there we are. Beautiful. Last week, no Dave and Dave show.
No.
We had a top producer panel just for the Nest. What an inspiring, great event.
Oh my God, 50 agents, 300 have watched it.
Yeah.
On our Nest Connect. What a great, informative, our top agents willing to spew everything they do to help the agents to get to those numbers.
I've wanted to share it to you, but my father's smart. Just for us, right?
Just for us.
One of the perks of being with us. One of the things they talked about more than anything, which is kind of the secret, is mindset. Mindset, that kind of figures it all out. But it was a great show. Not show, but top producer panel. I gotta tell you though, 2 weeks in between Dave and Dave shows, it feels like an eternity.
You miss me, baby.
I miss this. I haven't done a Making Sense comment either. We've been busy. Busy, a lot going on.
The market is a booming.
You want to jump right into that since you...
Yeah, you said busy. I'm saying the market is a booming.
As usual.
Schedules.
Not on script.
Schedules out the window.
All right, so let's talk about this for all you realtors out there. If you're not a realtor, this is just going to be good information. But if you're a realtor, the board, which I was a part of last year, and I'm not going to take full credit for it, but I'd like to take a little credit for it. We put together this. So we contracted applied analysis, which I don't know if you guys know. It is Brian Gordon, Jeremy Aguero. They're amazing. So when you sign on to your MLS, there is a spot called GLVR Stats and Applied Analysis. If you click on it, it will bring you...
So when you ask about what are my dues paying for,
this is one of the...
This is one of the things, and go from there. I just want to say it's a phenomenal tool.
So when we do the stats, let's just talk about them, right? This goes really deep into the stats, but let's... Okay. So this is the snapshot of March of 2019. 2,621 units sold. The median price pop, $300,000. We're back up to 4,400 new listings, 7,091 units available. Now we're down to a less than 3 month supply again.
It's gone up.
Are we back to a seller's market?
Hell no, I won't go.
Here we go. And then you have the condos, same thing. We're about 2.7. Units sold is down year over year, but the median price is up 7.1% year over year. So if you bought a year ago, you're up on average 7.1%. Go a little bit further down here. Hold on.
Can't get that money in the bank.
And you can't, right? So we're going to talk about that a little bit. Now, this is what I really want to focus on. Time on market for units sold. I haven't seen... so basically, this is how it works. 51.9% of all homes listed go into escrow within 30 days. Last year, we were as high as 70%. That's a 20% drop, right?
Still a seller's market?
Houses. This is what really shows you how we've changed. We've hit 10% on houses that have been on the market over 120 days.
4 months. Woo!
There's some opportunity out there for sure
for buyers. To buy. Yes.
Without a doubt. So let's jump into those numbers a little bit, right? 300,000. So the prognosticators, in all fairness to them, they were right on, I believe, 2 out of 3.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
I want you.
I need you.
But there ain't no.
I'm ever gonna love you.
I can't help it.
I know.
Meatloaf is so great.
I know.
There's that point in life where you're like, he's just joking with everybody, right?
Exactly.
But it's a good song. So don't feel bad.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
So the prognosticators basically said that we were going to see rising prices,
Exactly.
right? And we were going to see more inventory.
Exactly.
They were right on both. They did say, though, we would see higher interest rates, which I think the government figured out that the market couldn't sustain. It's that quantitative easing and all that.
You know, I said this statement yesterday. Love your president, hate your president. It really doesn't matter in the real estate market. What he saw was a softening of the market, and he rushed to keep the interest rates lower.
Yeah.
To make our affordability better. It's a good thing.
Yeah, and thank God, because the market isn't ready for the higher interest rates. I mean, it's a whole economics class in itself.
But a perfect storm for buying a house today.
It really is. Mm-hmm. And we talk about that all the time. So back to what we said, they did predict this would happen. So we're up 7% year over year. We've been kind of hitting that 300,000 and stopping.
Flirting. Up, down,
exactly.
down.
Like 296, 295, back up to 300, back down to 296, back up to 300. I'm going to put you on the spot. Here is the disclaimer, very small print. All of our opinions and prognostications are just guesses, and they're by no means a prediction or a guarantee of what will happen in the next 3, 4, 5 months.
You sound like an infomercial.
I know. How good was that? I pulled that right out of my... what do you think next 3 months? You think we're going to go over 300?
Yes.
I do too.
So, let's talk about it. We have inventory. Last year when the inventory was tight, what every agent in our office said, I have a buyer, I have buyers, and I can't find anything to sell them.
Yep.
Now we have lower interest rates. Some people bought houses last year, and this year the people are getting better rates. So refi, not a bad idea if you got that higher rate. And now they could say, I have buyers, I have houses, and I have lower interest. So that's, to me, is a perfect storm, or 3 out of 3.
No, I mean, it makes great sense. Especially, we're going to have on, we didn't even plan it like this, but we're going to have on someone who will help you remodel your house and put some smart money in. We're going to have a lender on as well. But it is a good time, like a really good time to buy, because people underestimate how important, how strong having low rates is.
And the new programs. There's so many new programs out there in lending.
Exactly.
Which we're going to talk about that too.
So you could do searches for 120 days or more on the MLS.
And then go, I know you're sitting on that house and I want to make a great...
It's the loneliest man or woman at the bar, just waiting for someone to come talk to them. They're just sitting there by themselves.
The loneliest number. Exactly.
No, but seriously, they're waiting.
You are right. They're waiting for an offer.
And there's opportunity for everybody there. And you don't know, maybe they're overpriced, maybe they're willing to take a less offer than you think. It's a great way to do the search. You get it for less than you want. You maybe put some strategic money in it. You see some beauty where people don't see it yet. And you get a great interest rate. And now in a market where prices are trending upwards, you're getting a good deal, which is a win, right? Mm-hmm. Same thing on the other end, sellers. Don't wait. Don't let your house get to 120 days on the market, because that's what's going to happen. Your house is going to get stale. It's going to be, it's going to be that milk in the fridge where you're like, you know what I mean? Like,
it doesn't look like coffee in there.
It's like chocolate milk.
I thought so.
It's like chocolate milk with coffee in it, but you don't want to be that chunky milk where you're unsure if it's stale or not, right?
Chunky milk shall
So
never
you got to be strategic and smart on positioning your home and making sure it's ready to go and not get stuck on numbers that you're never going to get, because then you lose your window of opportunity and the offers you're going to get are not going to be good. Fair?
Fair.
Okay, let's just dive in a little bit more to those stats. 2.7 months supply. We were at almost 4.5 months a month ago. That's a big shift.
2.7 month supply has gone up. Plus, you got to add in the new home. Which that doesn't.
That's under 100 days. That's actually way under 100 days. It's like, you figure 60, about 80 days supply.
Yeah, but doesn't mean much to me.
It means if people stop listing their houses,
Which
the supply would be gone
but they're
in
listing,
85 days.
They're listing, a lot of people are listing houses.
True. Okay.
A lot of listings coming out.
Yes, you and me. Okay, so we're going to transition to something I've been thinking about. You going to be able to stay with me on this one?
I can handle it.
All right, I don't know.
I'm
So there's
shocked.
ones, I always have fun coming up with like the tagline. This one is, wake up and smell the truth. You like that one? And the point is, do you own your lead source? Do you own your lead source? Or does your lead source own you?
I own my lead source.
You do. I do. So there's been a lot of changes in things that we can't control. So let's talk about how people, whether you're in the real estate industry or you're in any industry, how you get leads, how you get customers. Fair, right?
Mm-hmm.
In real estate, there's a bunch of different ways. One is personalized, relationship-based, right? Another is social media marketing. Another is buying leads from outside vendors, Zillow, realtor.com. Then a lot of them are Google search words, Facebook. I mean, there's a lot of ways you can get leads. Some people cold call. That's still a thing, right? A lot of different ways. But what we've been seeing is they've been changing certain things. So stay with me on this. Facebook. Have you seen what HUD came down on Facebook? Did you see this?
Yes.
Saying that the way you target is discriminatory. Now that's a debate for a whole nother time. But let's say I know teams, not at this company, but I know teams and I know businesses that create leads off of Facebook. And 60 to 70% of their business is based off of Facebook leads. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So if your main source of lead generation and production is based off of Facebook, do I have to throw that out? Do you have to get that?
Nope.
Let's say the majority of business is based off of Facebook. And Facebook gets in trouble and they have to change their algorithm or change the way you target, your business can get demolished overnight. Why? Because you put the majority, 60, 70, 80% of your time and resources
into someone other than your control.
to something you can't control, right? Let's go to even something like cold calling. Cold calling is the practice of, what is it, a smile and dial. I've never been a fan. Now, this is anecdotal, but I don't like to market to people the way that I don't enjoy being marketed to.
You mean when I hear that I don't know the person on the phone, I hang up?
Usually it's, is this Tina?
Yeah. Or David, how are you
Yeah,
today?
who calls me David, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Once they say Tina, I'm like, click. I don't even wait for the spiel. Well, some people do cold call. Hey, to each their own. But now, huge lawsuits coming over cold calling. Robo-dialers, whatever, because they're not paying attention to the do not call list. A lot of people don't know. It's a $10,000 fine
To the agent.
to whoever's doing that cold call on a do not call list if they catch you. So
And E&O doesn't cover it.
exactly. So if all your business, your phone's ringing again. If you got is it someone you got to get?
No.
Okay. If all your business is based on cold calling, and now there's a chance that they're cracking down on it, you're screwed.
Mucho problemos para ustedes.
Again. All right, let's continue on. This has all happened, mind you, in the last 60 to 90 days. Let's say you do Zillow leads or realtor.com leads. Let's start with Zillow. Zillow has changed some of their
Competition.
It just depends on how you use it. We're going to get into that. Zillow has changed and realtor.com is doing something similar where you could actually, instead of paying for leads, right, you give them a portion of your commission. Well, if you have people on your team that are already getting portions of your commission, and now you also have to pay Zillow or realtor.com portion of your commission, the structure is changed drastically. I'm not here to judge Zillow or realtor.com.
No.
Because ultimately, if the agents pay for it, it's their business, and
if it's successful to them, it's a beautiful thing.
But if you based your whole team structure and your income on paying Zillow X amount of dollars for leads, and now they're taking a bigger cut, your production and your 1099 at the end of the year has just changed drastically because they changed the way they do their business. If this company, Zillow Realtor.com, gets bought by another company tomorrow, you're out of luck, right? Fair?
Yep.
Google, pay-per-click ads, things like that. Google changes their algorithms all the time. If you're basing on that, again, out of luck. Realtor.com, I know companies that are producing hundreds and hundreds of leads off of that. They only had to pay commission. Now they purchased Opcity, so part of your leads now will be pay and a part of your commission. Now, what is the point of the whole thing? What I'm saying is everything we just talked about, you are not in control of your success.
Mm-hmm.
So, how do we remedy it?
Well, to me, what those things do are they give you, because you get buyers and sellers out of it,
Yep.
they give you a phenomenal database.
Okay.
And then you have your referral network. And to me, they may be a tool to build that referral network high.
Yep.
That I use the majority of not only the sale they gave me, but all the referrals of that person and more to create a database that I soon will not need them.
Okay. I'm with you. So what I call is the 80-20 rule.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I was texting back with one of my friends, lives in San Antonio. He also coaches, and he was saying to me, I have all these great systems, all these great referral sources. And I'm like, listen, I live by the 80-20 rule when it comes to this. 80% of your business, I don't care what industry you're in, at some point, whether you hit it or not, your goal should be 80% of your business is repeat referral. Fair?
Mm-hmm.
Because however you get there, whether it's lead generation, whether it's sales funnels, that's another one, right? Whether it's buying leads, there's a million different ways to do it. But eventually, your database should be so strong, like you talked about, that all you have to do is market to your own database.
Yep.
The people that know, like, and trust you, right?
Already know you're a superstar.
Exactly. So what I see, unfortunately, is, so if it's 80% of your business should be repeat and referral, people are spending only 20% of their time
On the 80%.
on the 80% of the business.
Yeah.
They're spending 20% of their money on
the
where they're getting
80%,
80% of their money,
Right.
right? So I'm not against all of these different things, but just, it's not what you do necessarily, it's how you do it, okay? So what I would say, and what we say to our agents all the time, regardless of, and what you guys, regardless of your business, try out all the new things with the bells and whistles. You may be the first one there, right? But only throw a small portion of your money and time and resources towards it, right? You can dabble. You can dabble 20% and see, 30% if you want to get a little aggressive and see if it works. But a lot of these things, what I've noticed is they're good and everyone's like, you got to run there. So 500,000 people run this way. And by the time they all get there, it's no longer viable.
Good.
So then someone else comes up with a new mousetrap. Mm-hmm. And then 500,000 people. And it's like the first 1,000 people who get it there. But you have to continually start chasing your business.
Exactly.
And who wants business that you have to chase?
Not I.
Exactly. So you gotta, what I say is you gotta build a foundation. And the reality is they're spending so much money, because what happens is they'll go, all these systems work if you work it. Is this not interesting you?
I'm listening. You're losing me a little. You know my attention span doesn't go.
Because you don't live in this space. But here's what happens. There's a lot of teams out there with a lot of success. So I'm not begrudging you. Where they'll go all in on a system and they'll put these tremendous teams behind them, right? So they'll turn and burn. So they're spending a lot, they're making a lot, and their return may be the same as you or somebody else who's spending a quarter of that but doesn't have that whole system behind it.
Got it.
So what I like to say a lot is, don't go to China to get to Mexico.
Right.
So if we look at what you're actually making at the end of the day, what you're risking, the leverage you have out there and what you make, it just makes more sense to do it the slower, smarter way of building your database. Because the reality is, lead sources will change like that. You have to be able to control it. I know this isn't interesting. You're not out there slinging real estate every day, but I do operations here. So every single week, someone reaches out to me.
I understand.
On some $4,000 to $5,000 a month system.
Should I try that?
That we can implement, but you wait, I have to hire another 3 employees, and basically I'd be handing out 8 deals where I'd have to get 50% referral fees back.
Right. Doesn't.
And what am I teaching the agents,
Got it.
right? So all I'm saying is, control your lead source, commit to referral-based business. That's your 80%. Dabble. I'm not a big fan of dabbling, but you can. What's a good word? You can kind of test it out or play. You could play in that 20%. Try the new thing. Just don't be dependent on it. A great realtor, great any business, should be able to almost stop marketing to a degree,
Right.
and get repeat business over and over and over again. Not to say you don't completely leverage social media in all these ways, and marketing and branding. All those things are super important. But I think people are missing the easy layups, and that is just taking care of the people that are around you.
Agreed.
Right. Okay. You know what? I really should have had a different guest for that segment.
I know, but you didn't, so it's okay.
Okay, let's continue. You really left me hanging on that one, like
Yeah, I
big
know.
time,
I know.
like huge.
Sometimes I do.
Like I
sometimes
just
I don't.
like in the trenches taking grenades, and that was such an important thing.
I think the point was well made. I think everyone got it.
If you haven't, leave a comment. Let's see, we do have comments here. For some reason I can't put them up. Let's see. The next thing is, I was listening to, I have quiet mode. So, there's a song by Mobb Deep called Shook Ones. Do you know anything about that?
Unless you sing it.
Did you see the, you ever see the movie with Eminem, 8 Mile? And you know at the end, he's like, he's having that rap-off battle.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, the last thing, he's like, yeah, I'm from a trailer park. Yeah, and he just basically goes off on himself and takes away everything that the guy he's battling can say, right? Do you know, again, all right.
I don't like Eminem.
Anyway, that's the song on it, and there's a part in the song, there's no such thing as halfway crooks, right? Well, anyway, it made me think of, there's no such thing as halfway realtors. And I may get a little flack on this, and you can defend if you want. And I know you started off as a halfway realtor.
You know,
Right.
I'm gonna say the difference.
So I always say part-time agent, full-time realtor. But the reality is this, and I know even some of our agents, you got to stay with me. If I'm getting heart surgery, do I want a part-time realtor? I mean a part-time cardiologist.
Nope.
If I got sued, do I want a part-time lawyer?
No.
I mean,
So here's my answer to that. If you work another job, it's okay. If you're putting in 30 to 40 hours in real estate. So that is the trick. When you lose being a professional in whatever industry you're talking about, that's when you're not doing the job you should be doing. So I don't want to say part-time, full-time. I want to say hours devoted to our field.
I do want to say part-time. You want to know why? You better have 2 full-time jobs.
That's what I'm saying. That's
Or
what,
the other one's a part-time
so
job.
I
or
was a
full-time.
fireman and I did real estate.
You did real estate more than you did
I
fire.
did real estate more than I did fire. Exactly, because I went in.
But you weren't a greedy guy either, right? and you had a partner that
When I wasn't there, she did the work.
she was fantastic, right? I mean, so what I have is a greedy realtor who's like, I don't want to give up part of my commission, so I'm going to try to just sling real estate on the weekends and nighttime and have no one there to take care of their business because they don't want to give up part of the commission. If you're a realtor out there and you're part-time, nobody should be able to know that you're part-time. They shouldn't be able to see the difference in business. If so, you're not taking care of your craft. I don't care. And you're making all of us look worse than we are. And you agree with that?
Yes.
And if you're a part-time realtor, you better be working twice as hard diligently, because if you screw up or you do something not right, then it's like, whoa, well, the first thing people are going to be like, well, you take this seriously? Are you part-time or not?
Well, the beauty of our company is if you are not making the classes, they're all on our Nest Connect, that they can watch them on the screen and at least be educated in real estate.
And that is one of the harder things about being with us, which I'm glad it is. We hold you to a higher standard than the industry will hold you, because our industry has little to no standards whatsoever. So there is an expectation of investing the time into yourself and your craft and knowing your business inside and out, right? It's just, if not, there's not a place for you here. Okay. All right. Let's jump in.
Do you want to talk about the Builder Expo before? I'm excited about that.
You love it. Why don't you?
All right, I'm going to talk about it. So,
Talk about something.
4 years ago, we decided to have all the builders enter our office in Summerlin, and they give us all the new home tracks, all the incentives, whether it be for agent or buyer. So, and they feed us. On April 24th, from 9:30 to 11:30, we are having the 4th annual Builder Expo. 10 top builders in Las Vegas will be here. If you are a buyer and want to come in. We will get you at the front desk, get an agent for you, and show you 10 different builders all in one seating. We will show you everything the city has to offer and set you up to go on a new home extravaganza. Very, very insightful for agents, because they see what's going on.
Just for us?
Or buyers. It's only Urban Nest agents, but buyers, anyone that wants to come in, 10220 West Charleston, right next to Albertsons, on the 24th between 9:30 and 11:30.
Then you can see what they got. And if you need a realtor, we'll have one. Well, you want a realtor.
You have to, because the builder represents the builder, the agent there, and we would represent you.
And as great as the builders are, you need representation nowadays, because it's just, it's like going into a court of law without an attorney.
It's a fun event.
Yeah.
There's a lot of food, a lot of incentives for the buyer also. So if the buyers want to come in, 853-2444, ask for Bernadette, and she will give you the specific on it.
The Pacifics on it?
Specifics.
Okay.
Good.
Who do you want to bring in first?
Amy.
All right. Amy is up. Hello, Amy Julien.
Good morning.
We have Miss Amy Julien, Axia Home Loans, been a partner and a friend for God knows how long now.
Too many years. We were children then.
Yes, we were.
Still my favorite phone number of all time. I always say it, 7734.
You won't forget.
Well, it's the year I was born,
I know.
and my favorite number. Do you know the house we bought? We found out the lot number the other day. We were doing the trust. 34. Meant to be.
It's
I'm
meant to
crazy
be.
with those types
I
of
know, I
things.
am too. A
Yeah.
little superstitious.
Yeah.
No.
So we're never moving. I said to Ange.
Okay.
So, okay.
That'll last 2 years.
Be our Vegas house.
I'm ready to move.
Are you?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what's so funny? I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
I was actually thinking about that this morning, that you were ready to move. Our brains were connected.
Telepathic.
Yeah, I swear to God, I was thinking about that.
It's ready for me.
What? That is insane.
Yeah, I want a mansion this time.
Nah, you want like 1,200 square feet.
No, like 5,000.
No, you don't. You're lying.
Yes, I do.
Do you really want a big house?
On a big piece of land with a pool and a spa.
What? Are you lying? Is
No. No.
Where the hell did this come from?
Through the years, through all the good and bad.
It feels like this is another chapter in its beginning, doesn't it feel like that?
There's always chapters. When you stop evolving, you start living.
Exactly.
So
You
I'm
know,
evolving.
What I was talking about, Julien. Yes, I'm sorry, Amy. You
No,
be a
please.
part of this fireside
That's
chat.
Part of this anyway.
He's not known for a man who takes chances. I think, or likes change. If
Right.
he would almost, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, if you had to describe yourself, you would actually say you're a person who doesn't like change. Would you say that?
I would say I'm a person that embraces change because I have to,
Okay.
but I like normalcy.
Basically what I just said. Okay.
My
But
words.
at 45 years old, I know we don't have to rehash your whole life, but at 45, you gave up everything you were. Retired fireman, everyone you knew, your family, a restaurant owner, owner of houses, real estate career. You could have been a broker running a whole entire thing. And at 45, you started completely over.
Ready to take a
Completely.
chance again.
Completely.
Yes,
Which is insane.
I knew you.
I know. And then here we are 22 years later. That's cojones.
And I look exactly
It
the
is.
same.
You look better because you used to have you had this dust up here.
Yeah, with the hair
With the pieces here.
That's
right?
when I met you,
You had
right?
the dust. It was a dust. It was like, it just sat there like a
Dust
cloud.
in the wind.
Alright, let's jump in. So what's going on? I mean, it's a good time to be in loans, right? I
It's a
mean,
great time to buy a house.
Okay.
tell us about all the cool stuff going on. About the rates must be great. You got
The
programs.
rates are awesome. I don't see them going up anytime soon.
Give
Okay.
us a general idea. Here's a question.
Okay.
For refis, Amy does refis too. So last year it seemed to me that some of the rates were higher.
They were.
Okay, they were. So when should that buyer out there that bought or that agent, when should they refi? How much of a difference? When does it make money or make sense to refi? How much of a spread?
If they want to do a debt consolidation, I would recommend that over doing other type of financing or putting that on
Gotcha.
credit cards.
Got it.
What about a home reno? Can you do that?
Yes, but again, I think that the better way to do it is to structure it where you could get a rate in the low fours
Okay.
and then go ahead and finance those costs. Typically, if you're only adding like $30,000 or $40,000 on there, on an average of $300,000 original loan amount, you're not talking about your payment going up that much more,
Right.
based on where the rates were last year compared to where they are this year.
Got it.
And right now it's about 4.25, depending on what's going on with the
Right.
buyer or the borrower. 4.25, 4.5.
Wow.
You just can't beat those rates.
I always talk about in '77 when he was born. I bought my first house. A buyer, 20% down. My rate was 8 3/4 or 8 1/2.
Right.
Now you're talking 4 1/4.
I know.
And Dave is old as 42 almost.
Listen, I bought my house in this new one, December,
Mm-hmm.
and even I'm like, I may have to refi.
Yeah, because of
It
that.
may be a half a point.
All right, so refi we know we should do. Tell us about the new programs because there's so much new out there. So,
There is. There's a lot going on right now. One thing I do want to mention, because
Good.
I'm a huge supporter of our vets. And
veterans are key.
they are. And Nevada Housing has an excellent loan that's Homes for Heroes. The rate right now on that is 3 3/4
Wow.
for our vets. I mean,
Is it just for
The
veterans?
least we
or
can
does
do.
it-
that one's
It's no
just-
police and fire.
Oh, no, you can do police and fire too, I'm sorry, yeah.
I was gonna say, I was a fireman for
It
20.
stretches.
Okay.
That's nice. We should be doing, don't get me started, what we should be doing for our vets. We leave them hanging.
I agree.
3 3/4, that's free money.
Crazy. Hear
Yeah.
that? You know what the great part of 3 3/4 is? They get qualified for a more expensive house.
Yes, they do.
Because the interest rate is low.
What's the down on that? Is it like a
0.
It's just like a
Zero.
VA. So it is a VA.
Wow.
It's a VA loan.
So it's a VA. Got
It is a VA loan. But
that's-
but the funds are given through Nevada Housing, and the rate right now is the 3 3/4.
Wow.
To me, it's an amazing loan to get our veterans into.
If you work with veterans, I know a lot of our agents do, a lot of people out there in the industry, you gotta get with Amy and get with this program going. I mean, I'd be marketing that just alone and helping every single vet, policeman, fireman, you
I
name it.
love VA loans.
Yeah.
I just think they're a great loan, and we can still close those in 2 to 3 weeks.
Wow.
So, now, if you're not doing Nevada Housing too, Axia will go ahead and pick up those non-allowables for the sellers.
Wow, you guys are going above and beyond.
Yeah, which typically comes to about $1,400 a
Right,
loan.
1,400.
Because you've got the processing fee, the underwriting fee, and then the escrow fee.
So basically what you're saying, when I'm a listing agent or a seller, and I say, oh, VA, and I go, oh, I don't want a VA because it's going
Right.
to cost me extra closing costs, is that you with Axia will pick up those extra VA.
We really support our veterans.
That is a
So
beautiful thing.
let's just talk about that real quick, because VA loans are the fact that listing agents don't take VA loans is just pure laziness and ignorance, right?
It is.
Because they
Yes.
just don't understand.
I
And they
think
don't
it's
wanna
more
deal with it.
ignorance,
Well,
yeah.
I think we're guilting them into it.
There's all these misconceptions and misnomers about the appraisal's not. If anything, you could challenge the appraisal better on what is
Yeah.
it, underwater, tidewater,
Yeah,
or something.
totally.
Listen, so how important it is to have someone like Amy on your team is if you're making a VA offer, correct me if I'm wrong, you'll be willing to talk to the listing agent and walk them through
Absolutely.
how this is not going to affect the seller's bottom
Not at
line
all.
at all. And that you're going to be 2 or 3 weeks away if it's this system. You're not you don't take long on loans anyway. This is almost a slam dunk.
It is.
And especially when your house is on the market now, 10% of the homes for 120 days, you better, if you're a listing agent or if you're a seller, tell your listing agent, there's a spot we can click on what offers you'll take. Cash,
Click
conventional.
VA.
A lot of people just get real lazy and put cash and conventional. I just want a cash and conventional.
You want to click VA.
You want to click VA and you want to click FHA. Like, it's ridiculous
Exactly.
not to. So I just wanted to get that off my
Well,
chest.
my feeling is if you give me 3 3/4 and you're gonna pay the non-allowables, it's a no-brainer.
I just think that the normal listing agent thinks that the seller has to pay more, that the
Well,
appraisal's
if
not
they're
going to be
watching
good.
our show,
Now
or
you
if
know.
our agent's watching our show, no, if you use amyjulien, she will take up any extra cost of a VA loan.
Now, on the Nevada Housing, we can't.
Right.
Because it's not it isn't our funds. It comes
Got
directly
it. It
from
has
that.
to be from
It-
Axia.
that's a regular VA loan that we get,
Right.
just so
Even-
you understand.
But even then, if it's a $200,000 house, you can make it 201.4. I mean, it's not
Exactly.
the end of the world. You just
No.
roll it right into the price.
No.
You know, the listing agent should only be dealing with. That's the other thing. A little side real estate tip: don't focus on what you get for your house. Focus on your net, because people get so stuck on that top number, they don't realize
Right.
once you start subtracting all this stuff,
Right.
it could look really good in the beginning and end up horrible, and it can look not good in the beginning on the offer and look really good at the end. You got to work in net proceeds. That's where you should live.
I agree.
So, what else you got for us, Mama?
Well, the rates are just unbelievable.
All right, 800 credit scores, 25% down. What are we looking at on a
4 and a
convention?
quarter.
4 1/4.
Yeah.
Man, I can improve a half. Oh, not on a refi though, right?
Maybe, maybe not.
What about like 50% DTI?
Oh, 50% is fine.
Oh,
I don't have a problem with 50%. We can do 50%.
that's like a rate and term.
all day long.
All day.
Right.
Beautiful.
So, and you don't really need to refinance. I want to remind our clients this: you don't need to necessarily refinance to get rid of your mortgage insurance.
Oh,
Well, if you have a conventional loan, if you have an FHA loan,
You
I
got
would
it.
urge everybody to get out of that because you can never get rid of that.
so a
mortgage
little
insurance.
distinction on FHA. You used to be able to
Right.
get
Get an
rid of
appraisal and show you had 20% equity, and the
PMI,
PMI would go away.
the MI. Now you got to refi the whole thing.
You have to refinance the whole thing, and because rates are so low right now, and because our property values have been going up, I would urge people to actually.
Well,
look
that
into
makes
it.
sense to me,
It
because
does.
now you're getting a lower rate, you're getting rid of the MI, so you're getting rid of that extra insurance. that
Mortgage
you're
insurance, extra fee. Some people $170,
Even if you get
$250.
Yes, but even if you get an appraisal and you're not quite at that 20% mark, do it anyway and get into a conventional loan
Right.
because you're going to be there soon.
Yeah.
And with a conventional loan, you can drop it without refinancing.
And you could save that monthly money that you're paying as mortgage insurance.
Exactly.
Makes
Yeah.
sense to me.
Yeah, so it's great. It's a perfect time to buy right now.
All right, so rumors all over the place. Zero down is back. Zero down is back.
Stated.
This is zero down stated?
No.
No.
Or they're not calling it. They're calling it. It used to be called Alt A. Not called that anymore. Non-prime.
Non-prime, they call it that too.
Nonsense.
Right.
So what does non-prime look like nowadays compared to what it used to be, subprime or all
Well,
day?
it's nowhere near where it used to be, you
Okay.
know, in the early 2000s or late 90s. Nothing like that.
So my most credit challenged client,
Mm.
right, made it through the 2008, finally coming out. 600 credit scores. Where are we at? Like, how low can you go?
On the non-prime,
Yeah.
you can go down to 580
Can you really?
on a lot of them. It depends on which programs.
Prepayment penalties or any more or little bit?
Seldom.
something? Wow, that's a nice.
Maybe for the first year or two, but then
Yeah.
after that, it's just
Who's not living in a house for 12 to 24 months?
right,
Beautiful.
right.
And you do it all.
Yes, we do.
So here's the thing with Amy. She can almost do anything. Almost. When Amy says no, it means no. It means that you're probably not going to get a loan unless, Vinny and Guido are going to come and give you a loan.
But I will tell you what you need to do to be able to get a loan down the road.
Yes.
Yes, I will do that.
So you work with them on the
I
credit
do.
and everything like that.
Credit, debt to income ratio, all kinds of things like that.
Beautiful.
Anything else you need to tell us that's new and exciting or you want to point out?
No, I don't think so. Just
How many years you doing loans?
since 1985.
85.
Damn, my wife was born in '86.
Well. All right, I feel old. I'll leave
He
now.
did that intentionally, Amy. I was gonna say I got my license in '77,
I'll
which
leave now.
42 years ago. But I was 10.
Yeah.
I think you have to be 18, so I was 18. That makes me 60.
You got your 40-year pin.
I did
I
2
hope I
years
never
ago.
get it.
I think I'm at 34.
See?
Wow, good number.
Yeah,
Yeah.
34.
Well-
See? Right back to 34 for Dave.
It's
So let's go buy some homes.
Yeah.
we're in. You call Amy.
Yes,
Beautiful.
please.
Thank you. Mama.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Amy.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, we have one more special guest. I'm so excited about this.
Me too.
This
I'm
is actually part of what we're talking about.
You bet, but I'm excited because it's something new. Tell me something
The
good.
easiest name, Domini.
Hey, David.
Do you get Domini all the time?
All the time.
Domini. Is it like Dominic?
Kind of.
Kind of. Come closer to me so that they can see it. So, Domini is a friend of Angie and I, and her and her husband have started this amazing new concept. You're gonna love this. It's called Improve with an E. And I'm gonna turn it over to you, right? Because I'm just gonna preface it with this. We have the most dated inventory, I think, in the nation almost, it seems like, right?
No, here's the story. Always remember the city you're living in. So we are living in Las Vegas, land of the new. So you could go to Boston and go into a 100-year-old
This is where I'm
home.
gonna disagree with you.
You go in a 100-year-old home and they go, oh, look at that wood and look at this. But
Yeah, but
where?
the people in Boston are already used to the fact that they have to continually change their house because it's so long. Me and you did it in New York.
Right.
Every 5-10 years, it was part of.
But
we gotta
the
change this
trends in Las Vegas fit perfectly for what she's doing.
Plus, I just bought a 20-year-old house,
Mm-hmm.
and we gutted the same neighborhood,
Yep.
gutting it to the studs.
Yeah, well, you're insane.
I
Let's
am
not
insane.
talk about that.
But when you have your house on the market for 120 days, when it's slow, whether you're looking to sell or whether you're looking just to enjoy your house, it can be really overwhelming. It's overwhelming for me, and I know all the people.
Right.
And I'm like, you can't get deeper into the business than me. And even I get a little stressed up, Angie and I, not even a little, a lot, on finding it's always more expensive to improve than you think. You never know who you're going to end up with on the other side of that. If someone's going to finish the work, if they're going to run away with your money, this is where you come in.
You got an
Tell us
agent,
about it.
yeah. But, yeah, I want to hear what you do.
So the Improve It platform, it's a website that helps homeowners who need to upgrade their home. So basically, we've tried to make the process as simple as possible. We've actually created these smart photos that we've tagged all the different elements in each photo.
You want to go to
should I-
Facebook? Yeah, take over.
Kind of go here. So let's just take a kitchen, for example.
The number one ugly thing in
The
the world.
number one
The
ugliest
number one thing to upgrade, though, right? Makes the
Yes.
biggest difference in the
Right.
house.
Yeah, so I mean, everybody is always looking at photos, trying to, get inspiration for what they want to do. So we'll just take this photo here. Nice quartz countertops.
Great,
stainless steel
great.
appliances.
No, it's beautiful. It's got,
No, I know.
some
White,
wood in
great.
there.
Yes.
And you have to have the wine fridge here.
Is that in?
That is definitely in. So here, you can type in whatever zip code you're in.
89135.
Or 89135.
See, I love the black framed windows.
And so you can see your estimate for your renovation for your kitchen already went up. So we've kind of put together all these pre-packages. So like if Dave said your house has been on the market for 100 days, you need to change something.
Back up a minute.
Yeah.
Why does your estimate go up with the zip code you're in?
Because work and labor and materials are all different based on where you live at.
Really?
It's a nationwide
It's a
thing, right?
nationwide platform.
Gotcha.
So,
Got
I
it.
mean,
Oh,
you
I
guys
thought.
are from New York. What was your zip code there?
11763.
763. Let's see. So
Oh.
about the same.
Yeah, Long Island is not that bougie. Not where we're
Not
from.
where we're from,
Yeah,
no.
so
If
we'll-
you put in the Hamptons,
Yeah,
forget
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
from Florida, so 33525.
Where in Florida?
Right outside of Tampa. So
Okay.
it's a little less expensive to renovate
Makes
in
sense.
Tampa. Yep.
Makes sense. Got it. Now I
So,
understand.
Yeah, so we put together, a light refresh is basically new paint on your walls, flooring, upgrade finishes, which, a seller might want to think about doing, new
Mhm.
countertops, new floor, new paint, just to kind of spruce everything up.
Keep the cabinets or paint the cabinets. Are we not there yet?
We're not there yet.
Okay.
So the light renovation actually gets you brand new cabinets. So this is gonna be more.
That's where you jump. You know.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, and then we've kind of done this cute little visual. You get check marks here as to what's included.
Oh, very nice.
Here you can add and take away features. Let's just say, you wanna, instead of replace them, let's just refinish them. And so, here you
Yeah,
go.
look at that price tag.
So then, this is a very daunting process. So we've actually helped implement a concierge service. So, if a realtor wants to just refer their home, either the seller or the buyer to us, we'll give them a coupon code that they can use. They can go on. If you want to do it for yourself right now, it's $5 to use the service, and
Just
that
to build your
includes
plan.
just to build your plan, and you can send it out. We manage the whole contractor process, so we also get you 3 to 5 prices on your renovation. Or you can pick the premium process, which is basically we create your cost plan for you based on your budget, and then the premium plus, it's really the best value. You tell us your budget, we give you 5 different cost plans with the money distributed for different items. So
One-time fee?
one-time fee
This is way too cheap.
One-time fee per project.
per project, yes. And then we
Follow
also,
us on Facebook. I don't know if you went into that already.
yep, so I'm already actually signed
Okay.
in. So here, if you did the concierge, you would just put in your information here, tell us your budget. So if you wanted to spend $15,000, your property address, I'm at 10964. Willow
There-
Heights, don't stop me, anybody.
I was gonna say you may be better off putting mine in.
And then confirm here. And so you'll get this nice little pop-up. We'll be in touch shortly. But here, you can come and see how you're spending your money. So your
This would have been very
countertops
nice for me.
and cabinets are, clearly the most expensive thing to refinish. Countertops here, we've assumed engineered stone for you, but you can always change that. If you don't want an engineered stone, you want a laminate, your price goes down.
Yeah, because you got khaki laminate.
Or if you want real stone, your
Yeah.
price goes up.
Oh.
So we've tried to make the process as simple as possible, allowing the homeowners to kind of customize, see what they can actually afford before actually engaging with the contractor. Because everybody always thinks that, they want these Carrara marble countertops, plywood cabinets,
Yeah.
built-in stainless steel fridge, and then the contractor comes out and says, that's gonna be $60,000.
Not to mention, I mean, this is where like teaming this up with a realtor is huge, because a realtor could say to you, listen, the juice isn't worth the squeeze on this. You're not going to get, depending upon the community you live in, you should be cognizant of how much money you're going to put in.
Right.
And the life you live. I mean, I'd love to have Carrara marble, but I have
No,
two
it
kids.
stains too.
I have two kids that love to use permanent marker, and then I have friends
Drunken
over
friends that
that
drop
with
wine.
red wine. I mean, I don't want to deal with that. I'd rather do quartzite, but quartzite's expensive. But and these numbers are about, they're very, very accurate.
Oh, yeah.
I have a
and-
question. How do you formulate, 2 questions.
Okay.
How do you formulate the numbers, and the people you recommend, are they all licensed? What's the thing that gets them into the website? So those are my 2 questions.
Okay, so we have a whole separate contractor portal where the contractors log in. All of their license information is up to date. We've kind of vetted them off of Hal's, Angie List. All of their reviews are in there for people to
Gotcha.
look at.
And then the pricing, how do
And then-
you get to it? I mean, staining the cabinets for $47.31, that's a good price. In other words, that's probably, because I've done that.
It's right on. I've done a whole house
Right.
for like 8,000.
So
yeah.
how do you get those numbers? Is the algorithm that you already have that in there? Okay.
Yep, everything's in there. We have a team of construction professionals that work for
Got
us
it.
that's come up with that pricing.
See, because on our end as agents, we have to make sure if we refer something like this, that everything there is a licensed contractor.
Right.
We had an agent give a contractor like $85,000, and the contractor walked away.
Oh, wow.
When Dave and
I have a friend in Canyon Fairways it just happened to.
When Dave and I were building our first pool in '95, when he moved out here, I'm going around all over town looking for this guy to build a pool, and I wanted to give him the 10 grand. He disappeared.
Oh, no.
I was the lucky one, because remember with the 10 grand? He disappeared, so I didn't get to give it to him. But all the people ahead of me,
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
you see what I'm saying? So for us as an agent, it's imperative. It's actually doing 2 things for us. It's giving an estimate of what a price would be, and it's ensuring that their money won't be robbed.
Right.
And that's huge for us.
Which is big, because even with my reno, I had to find a new electrician. I just found a plumber a year ago. Like you'd think being here 25 years, I would have a whole team.
Yeah.
There's only 2 people that are still, my painter and my my counter guy are the only ones still in business from 10 years ago.
Oh, my gosh.
So you have to start over every time.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And you don't know, and then it's like the price versus the quality of the work. You don't know what you're getting. So a lot of it's a crapshoot.
Yeah.
Plus, you're planning here. Again, don't judge Angie and I. We've been in this game, but even then, there are things that we're learning on the fly that have cost us a couple of thousand here and there.
Yeah.
Like we didn't foresee a shower being as small. We already had done plumbing. We already had done that extra expensive drywall because it's water, and we had to rip it all out because to redo it. So we paid twice, and that's part of the game.
Because
When
it
you
was
do,
good for infant showers, is that it?
I mean, she couldn't have fit in that shower. I mean, now now all 3 of us could fit in that shower.
Much better.
It's gorgeous now, but at the time we didn't do it because we thought it would be too expensive and we didn't want to over improve. Yet, if we weren't doing it ourselves, someone would have said, "Hey, no, do it this way." So this is you got to raise your prices.
It's introductory, Dave. Remember Netflix? How was it the first year? $4.99 when I joined Netflix.
So we actually, talking about like protecting the homeowners, we actually provide a sample contract on the platform too that the homeowners can actually use, and that list out like all the general conditions of the contractor, like cleaning up the workspace every day, just making sure they're doing everything within the building codes.
That alone,
Holding
cleaning up
retention.
their workspace alone.
Yeah.
And just to get into it, I'm not going to say it in any way, but we have a lot of people that'll say, I want the best price. And you have this person that is not licensed,
Right.
They're touching electrical, they're touching plumbing, leads us for tremendous lawsuit. Our forms in our repair list say must be done by a licensed contractor.
Right.
So the fact that everyone that's bidding me isn't Dave from New York that came in for a day and now disappeared is phenomenal.
Yeah. And we encourage homeowners to hold back some retention, so that way homeowners just don't, take your money and run.
Of course. I mean, what I'm doing with Lauren right now, it's like he's doing all 4 bathrooms, a laundry room, and 3,000 square foot of wood. It's a $30-something thousand job.
Oh, yeah.
What was it? Your what?
My tile guy,
Oh, you're talking.
I gave him 12,000.
Well, if you and I walk
12,000,
in,
12,000.
if you and I walk in, they're not gonna.
I did joke with him and say, if you leave, I will find you. It was one of those things. So tell us about this part.
So for realtors, I actually did this one for Angie, and you guys can leave these at like open houses, especially if you're showing a home that buyers aren't gonna love the kitchen, super dated kitchen.
Right.
We customize it for the real estate agent. So we have Urban Nest, then Angie's photo, the listing price, square footage of the home, and then price per square foot. Like you said, Dave, you don't want to update the home so far out of the market. And then we kind of just put here, this is the existing photo, and then of the home that's listed for sale. Not that this is an awful kitchen, and then a photo from our website, so the design inspiration. And then we put, what a light renovation would cost at upgraded finishes. So we gave you a little breakdown here of, your cabinets, are gonna be, of course, the most expensive. But if they don't wanna do that full renovation, we've kind of provided a graph over here. Let's just say they just wanna do a light refresh. So we've kind of given them, it'll be, a couple $1,000s for your light refresh, upgrade finishes, and then you can kind of just see there. So, and then we've actually put the URL down at the bottom, so if a home buyer, says like, oh yeah, well this is really helpful, they can just go copy and paste that URL, takes them right to our website, they can customize it. And then I was actually talking to Amy in your lobby, talking about the 203K, where you can actually roll your renovation cost right into your mortgage loan. And she said, yeah, you need, 3 contractors at least pricing the project. And I'm like, that's what our platform could be amazing for. You don't have to do anything. You put in the address.
In a way, working with realtors and lenders is even better because it's one thing, it's so intimidating.
It is.
And now Angie and I have been joking that we walk into every single house and we're like, all right, we can just rip down that wall and that wall. Because once you go through it, you don't even see challenges anymore. You see opportunities. You're like, it'll work, it'll come together, and you're like, that's going to cost about that, that's going to cost about that. Most people have no clue where to start. This empowers them. You can almost say empower by improve, right? Because you start having kind of a better idea of what it will take. And especially if I'm making offers on houses that have been on the market 120 days and they're a little dated, I can start getting an idea of how much it really will cost, what it'll take to do it, how I could roll it in, things like that. And the reality is flippers are making money and they continue flipping because they are making money, right? And even if you're not moving out of your house, who doesn't want to live in a gorgeous house? So what I say to people is like, well, all my friends say to me, should I sell or should I stay, right? Or should I renovate my house? And I'm like, just don't over improve. This is your number one thing. Don't do the purple walls, right? Make it something like enjoyable for everybody. And you can actually live in it a year and 2 or 3 and actually love it. And then when it goes time to sell it, you're not 15 years behind, you're only 2 or 3. Okay?
Right. Very fair.
Yeah.
And if you do it in timeless fashion, it'll stay in.
And this is such a strong tool to do it yourself. This is really a DIY, right? You guys are really empowering them. You're setting them up to like go in there, because if not, some flipper's gonna buy it.
Right.
They're gonna put 30,000 into it, and then you're gonna pay an extra 20 on top of that 30 because of the work they put in. Right? Which is nothing wrong with that if you don't want to do it.
Right.
But why not have the option do it yourself, and then you can choose. Because what the flipper's going to do, he's going to have one tile for his 20 flips, and he's going to use that tile over again. So if you don't like the tile, you don't like the counters, you're out, right? Where all it would have taken is changing one little thing on the website. I love it. Great.
Yeah,
So-
and like Inman did a really great review too of Improve, and just kind of hit on like some key things of how realtors could use it too. And one is just kind of like we were doing with this, display it at an open house. You can actually use it to sit along buyers to help determine like final offers.
Yep.
Share improved room plans with contractors. That way you're getting an apples to apples comparison on your pricing. Because sometimes, when contractors come over, you're kind of doing this arm waving, I want this, I want that.
Yeah.
And sometimes they miss something, and
I'm doing it right now. Because the contractors aren't writing anything down. They're going, okay,
Yeah.
okay. And then you come back and they're like, oh.
And
And you're not there every day either.
Yeah. And they're like, well, that's probably $10,000.
Yeah.
But what does that $10,000 include? You never know.
Oh, there's got to be a lot of trust. I got to tell you, even though I have my own people, I'm going to go on here, and because it's so cheap, just to compare and organize it all.
Oh, yeah.
Just to organize it, because you don't think, here's how life works, okay? This is how crazy. You go to do a master bathroom, all right? And you rip out the whole bathroom, and you start moving some stuff around, and you don't realize, just by repositioning a vanity, right? The plumbing,
Yep.
the light above you, the mirror, everything.
Medicine cabinet.
Or are you keeping the medicine
Yes,
cabinet,
I know.
right? Because
We're going through the same thing right now in our bathroom.
you need to document yours. We got rid of our medicine cabinets. Then we ripped out a corner tub.
I don't think they do medicine cabinets anymore.
Well, we did. We got rid of them all. Then you rip out the tub and you want to put in do we have enough room for the tub?
Yeah, the
Then-
freestanding tub.
Then the freestanding thing, which they're not supposed to put
The
under.
tub filler, yeah.
Oh my God,
I
it's
know. You can't think of everything. It's really
We-
hard. But the nice thing about this is we're just giving like high level.
yeah.
But when you look at the cost plan, it's so overwhelming. We just don't even show it to homeowners anymore. But the contractors have like probably 50 line items just
Yes.
for what's included here. So,
Which guess what? You really don't need to see behind
No,
the
you
curtain.
don't. Because you think that you have to like verify everything.
Yes.
And you just don't. And this platform is just a cost estimate. It's not saying that you can't change things after the
No.
fact when the contractor comes out to look at your space. If you want to add something, you can.
Yeah, but let's just take one thing like, I want to stain the cabinets in my house. How much? At least now you're getting 3 bids or whatever, and variable what it's going to cost.
Right.
It's better than just shooting it off the hip. And especially realtors, if your cost analysis and you're putting numbers out there that aren't verified, you are actually breaking the rules. Better than if you have something like this and you're like, this is an estimate, but it's a closer estimate than me just pulling it out of my head.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And you're not the one liable if we're
And
wrong.
we're not that expert. You are.
We're not. But you are painting a compelling future story process for people, especially if you're selling or if you're buying or if you're just renovating on what you could do. So you may have some equity. It may be a great time to do it. And you know what? Invest in you. I love it. I think this is fantastic. Let's make this city a little bit more beautiful in the homes, right?
Right.
Then you walk in, and even in his community, Red Rock, it's the most beautiful neighborhood in the world. Well, you know,
Well,
right?
I love our community.
It's
I think
gorgeous.
It's great, but yeah.
Till you
every
open the
house
door.
is located.
Right? And you're like, it's $1 million home, and it's like garbage on the inside.
No, yeah.
Right?
That too.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
first in on the left. We met through dance.
Ballet, yes.
Yes, way back in the day. Myron always said, he goes, you'll meet great friends through your kids. That's the truth, right? Myron. You believe that? That came from him.
Who doesn't have kids?
Exactly.
All right, yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
How do they get in touch with you, Domini?
So my email is Domini, DOMINI, @improveit.com. Or you can reach out. My cell phone is 702-918-4478. And just reach out to me or through our Facebook page, improveit.com. And we can actually send the realtors the coupon codes that you guys can pass along to your clients.
Beautiful. And then we talked about it a little bit with Angie. For nest agents, if you're down, come in and we may just do a class
Yeah.
just for you. We'll put it on our inside group and you can
Great.
walk people through.
Absolutely, I love that.
Sound good?
Sounds great.
All right,
All
thanks
right,
for
thank
coming
you
in. I
guys so much.
appreciate
I
it.
appreciate
All right.
it.
Go back to last week, episode 38. We went through investing, and if this is a great way to do flips as well. Okay, parting shot. We had a chock full pack. I was interested today.
Yeah.
Except for you. in the
Tomorrow
beginning. You were,
at 12 o'clock, we have a WFG Lunch and Learn social media. Learn social media. That's at 12 o'clock. Urban Nest Agents. It's a great WFG class. On the 25th, we have a free CE, and it's 1031 exchange from 1 to 4. You get 3 CEs and learn about 1031s, which are flooding back into the market. Money from other places.
So if we bring it all together, you take the market stats, you understand who's listing and who's not, right? You go in, you're a full-time agent, so you're watching all the stuff, you know how to leverage everything. You come in, you improve your listing or your purchase, or if you're making an offer, you're like, we're gonna get this at $350. It's usually worth $400 if it's done. We're gonna put $30,000 in. You're gonna hopefully have $20,000 in equity. If you don't have the money, you're gonna use Amy for a 203K. You're gonna roll it into your loan, right?
Yeah.
And you're gonna be based on personalized service, relationship-based business, and you're making money and you're not relying on third parties that you can't control. Damn, I put it all together in one shot.
Well, you left us the parting shot, as Danny said, we have perfect Easter colors on today. So maybe we would be the color of Easter eggs.
So I always say to him, why are we always wearing the same color shirts? And then I thought about it, because I give him all of my shirts. This is my shirt.
Everything now.
That's why we wear the same.
Color.
That's why we always have
Now.
pink on together, and blue and white
Right.
and black. And
If
those are the colors I wear.
Life is good and 25 pounds come off me.
Then
There are a plethora of new shirts.
All bets are off for you.
Yes, but right
when
now.
you dress yourself though, it's like a Seinfeld commercial. Like you
Yeah.
got the sweatpants and the dress shirt on,
Yeah.
and the New Balance sneakers.
Yes.
Yeah, you're like 3 men in one.
I haven't done that in
a long time with your coupons at Smith's on Jones.
Through the years.
All right, that's all we got today. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.